Hello, beautiful, and welcome to High Vibe Honey for the week of the 15th of April, 2019. I am your host, Gala Darling. I am working my Neon Jessica Rabbit fantasy today, and I have some really great cards for you that I think will give you a lot of clarity and help you see what you should do next. So much has happened in the last week. It has been a week of, just like I said, immense clarity for me. So many things have become clear that previously were not. I've received answers, and as a result, I feel like I am now able to be more clear in my life and express myself more easily and with less confusion, and everything in my life is just improving in that way. So that feels really good. So this week, again, we are using the Holly Simple Tarot deck because I really love the artwork. And these three cards, I believe, are really around what you want to create and the mindset you need to have in order to create those things. Because we all have things in our lives that we want to make, that we want to do, that we want to put our energy into, that we want to create or sell or have as part of our legacy. And that's one of the most fun things about life, is having an idea and then bringing that idea to fruition. And it's not even necessarily the point of it springing to fruition that is the most fun part. It's actually that journey of getting there and exploring what happens as we create these things and what do we learn on the way to creating them. So here are the cards that we pulled, and I really like these. I just feel that they're so dead on. They're definitely appropriate for me, and I think that you'll find them appropriate for you too. So our first card is the Eight of Pentacles in the upright position. Now, what this card says is that you are in the middle of a project. There's something that you are working on. Maybe you've been working on it for 10 years, or maybe you've been in it for a couple of months, and you're in the middle of this project, and you want to do a really good job with this thing. You have decided that it's something that's important to you. You've decided that it's worth doing well and investing your time and energy in, and it's something that you feel is going to pay dividends in the future. And this card is really about improving on what you already have, already know, and already do. It's really a card about work in the physical world and creating something tangible and improving that. So it might be about going back to school. It might be about just taking an online class or an online seminar and learning more about the subject. It might be about hiring someone to help you see the places where you're not so great and where you could use a little bit of assistance. Whatever it is, this card talks about mastery and about the fact that if we want to really give something our best, we need to be in it, we need to be consistent, and we need to be able to accept some help and not just think that we have all the answers, because we don't always know the best way to do things. And I think it's important that when we're creating things, we're not always reinventing the wheel. One of my favorite quotes is success leaves clues. So what that means is that no matter what you're doing in your life, no matter what your vision is or your goal is, there is surely someone in the world, whether living or deceased, who has done something similar to what you are doing or want to do. And the question is, what clues have they left behind that you can pick up on and use in your life to make your mission easier? Things don't have to be hard. They don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be difficult. We choose to believe that they are that way, and our subconscious never makes us a liar. So we then go out and we find these situations that make things difficult so that we are right, quote unquote. But really, there are very few things in the world that are completely new, that have never been tried before. So this week, I want you to think about where you could go for some guidance, to learn more, or to get better at this thing that you want to do. In my case, me and my team, Audrey and Asia, are working on a brand new project that I am so excited about. And I know that it's the right thing because I have started spontaneously having people leave me comments about it, even though I have not even hinted at this thing anywhere. And so I know that I'm on the right track with it. And what we're doing is we're in a stage of R&D. We are looking at what's the best way to do this and figuring out how have other people done this and done it well, because we want to do it really well. We want to do it at a world-class level. So we're researching, we're learning, we're figuring out where is the best place for us to put our energy and how do we make this project really sing, because we want to do it to the best of our ability so that you guys can have a really beautiful experience. So the other thing that this card says is that it denotes that you will achieve a level of success through quality and dedication. So what that means is you need to be focused on your goal. And we talked about this last week about being focused on what it is that you want and not getting distracted. So again, this is about knowing where you want to go and really being dedicated to the process and realizing that things don't necessarily happen in the blink of an eye. Sometimes it takes time for things to come together and to be really good. But that if you apply yourself, if you take your time, if you do things strategically and intelligently and with love and passion and enthusiasm, Parker Lewis can't lose. The other thing, like I said, is that this card sometimes says maybe there's some education that you need. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go back to school or, throw your whole life off track to learn more. Not necessarily. Maybe it just means you need to read some articles. Maybe it means you need to sit down and have a conversation with someone. And I've been really amazed over this past week, the people that have fortuitously come into my life who have just started talking to me about something that I was curious about, something that I was looking for answers on, something that I couldn't figure out on my own. People are literally coming to me and presenting me with information that I had no idea I was going to get from them. And in some cases didn't even know these people existed. They literally popped up out of the woodwork. So this is a card of mastery, and I just want to encourage you to really apply yourself to whatever it is that you want. And if you think about the people that you admire who have achieved amazing things, who have done brilliant things with their lives and created important movements or charities or given back, they haven't done it by having a flippant thought and not really spending a lot of time on it and just kind of doing a haphazard job and moving on to the next thing. They really have done that by applying themselves, thinking about it seriously, considering the options, and doing it to the best of their ability. So that is what is required to be successful, at least in the long term. And the cards that keep coming up for me / us are cards about longevity, cards about legacy. This is not about making a quick $1,000. This is about really creating things in your life that will stand the test of time, that help you build towards where you want to go, and that are meaningful and not just some flash in the pan, get rich quick kind of situation. They're really about creating something of meaning and quality that will last. Now, the interesting thing about this second card is that in some ways it seems like it could be saying boo hiss to the card before it. So the card that we got in the second position was Temperance in the reverse. Now, Temperance in the reverse is often about lack of focus, lack of vision. But I don't think it's about that. This is what I feel about this card. I feel that this card is about focusing on the wrong things. So even though you have this vision, even though you have these things that you want to do and create and have and be, you are getting bogged down by thinking about what you don't have rather than what you do have. And when we focus on scarcity and we obsess over what we don't have and what we don't have enough of, it's very easy to get frustrated and feel exhausted and feel like I don't know what the next step is, and it can really throw you off your game. So I was feeling like this a couple of days ago, and I was walking along the street and I was really feeling like, Gala, like you're not doing enough, you're not impacting enough people, you're not working as hard as you need to be, and I was really taking myself on a trip that did not feel good. And as I was walking, I decided I need to cut this out. This is not a productive way of thinking. Thinking this way is not going to get me to where I want to be anyway. So what can I do to change it? So I grabbed my phone and I started recording a voice memo. And I literally recorded myself a 10-minute gratitude voice memo where I talked about all the things I was so grateful for, all the things I have in my life that are already fantastic and that I can grow, all the big risks I had taken that had paid off. And in that process of 10 minutes, I was able to completely transform my mood. I started to feel more optimistic, and I started to feel like the things that I want to do are achievable, they are doable, they are not insurmountable. So I really recommend, if you're not doing the magical morning practice, which the huge component of that is a morning gratitude practice, I really recommend jumping on that train. It will make you feel so good. And if you don't have a magical morning partner, some people come to me and say, I don't have a partner, what do I do? Do them on your own. And I've actually realized over the past little while that sometimes not having a partner for your magical morning practice can be really beneficial, because sometimes we have these dreams that are so big, we're almost embarrassed. We almost don't want to tell people about them. And until you get comfortable with that dream, you might just want to keep it to yourself, but you don't want to not do the magical morning practice. So record it for yourself. You don't have to listen back to it if you don't want to, but listening back to it can be a great way to boost your mood. But just talk to yourself about the things that you want to do and be really unashamed. Because when you're talking to yourself, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. No one's listening. There's no judgment. It's all good. So if this is something that you are struggling with, maybe your dream is really big, or maybe you don't have a partner, try doing it on your own and see what happens. And I would love to hear your feedback on that. For me, it's very powerful, and I think that it might be very powerful for you as well. So this card, like I said, I think it's about focusing on the wrong things, putting your attention in the wrong places, and then kind of self-sabotaging by getting bogged down in the minutia of, I don't know how to do this, I don't know where to start, this is such a big project, blah, 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 blah. So focus on what you already have. Focus on the love in your life. Focus on the abundance in your life. Focus on the health in your life and the good times and the adventures that you're having. When you can focus on those things, you will feel so good, and it will be easier for you to move into action around doing these things that you want to do. It's all about momentum. That's why I put such a priority on feeling good, because when you feel good, you create this sense of momentum that makes it really easy for you to move into action and doing things, and the momentum just keeps rolling. So that's what that card is about, in my opinion. You may have a different take on it, but that's what I think it's about. I'd love to hear if that sounds right to you, but to me, that sounds really dead on. And then our final card is the 10 of Pentacles, which is the ultimate conclusion of this 8 in Pentacles situation, which is about focusing on the things that you want and being in a place of mastery. And like I said, attaining success through dedication and quality. The 10 of Pentacles is the ultimate card of abundance, of ultimate wealth, ultimate financial reward and fulfillment, and feeling like you've achieved something really brilliant. So typically, if you think about a personality that goes with the 10 of Pentacles, it's often the daddy figure of the family who has come to the end of his working life, and he feels good about himself because he's provided for his family. He's created a foundation. He's created a sense of security and a stable base. Now, obviously, that's very heteronormative, and who gives a fuck whether it's a man or a woman? But basically what it denotes is this character that feels good about themselves because they have been able to transmute their ideas into gold, literally, and they've been able to provide for their family or their loved ones or themselves. And so this card, the 10 of Pentacles, tells us that that's where we're going. So hallelujah. I'm pretty stoked about that personally. I think you should be too. It's really beautiful to get that card as the final card in this reading. So what it says is basically, do your fucking best with this thing that you are working on, and you cannot go wrong. So if you need more education, if you need to talk to somebody and get some advice, if you need to read some articles, do some research, do that. Make sure that what you're doing is the right thing for you to do. Don't just jump on a solution because it's easy and it seems convenient. Maybe it's the cheapest option. That's not the way to go. You get what you pay for. So I want you to commit yourself to the thing that you love and are passionate about, and really invest your time and your energy into this very wisely. And then to know that you will get there. You will be successful with this project if you put the time in, if you put the energy in, if you stay committed to it with your passion, and also not to focus on the wrong things and not to get derailed by scarcity or feeling like I'm not there yet, or why haven't I achieved more, or whatever other bullshit you might be happening to tell yourself, because those thoughts are not helping you. They are only hindering you. So really just to work on your mindset this week. Work on your mindset always, but especially this week. Focus on what you have, not on what you don't have, and you will do so well. So I love those cards. I love them so much. And our tapping this week, again, I think just like last week, we're not even going to tap out the negative. We are just going to tap in the positive. And this is like a really hot tapping that is all about abundance. In this tapping, we are just going to talk about how abundant we are, how grateful we are to have what we have, how we're excited for more to come, and how good we feel about life. Again, this is a beautiful tapping to do in the mornings or when you're feeling a little bit blah and you need an energy lift. This tapping will pep you the fuck up and you will love it. And by the way, if you did not watch episode 15 of the Gala Darling Show with my friend and hypnotherapist Grace Smith, she does a beautiful hypnosis at the end of the interview that lasts, I think it's about 15 or 20 minutes. And I did it this morning and it made me feel so good. I have been feeling amazing all day long. And if you've never tried hypnosis, I really recommend that you go watch this episode. We talk about female entrepreneurship almost the whole time. So if you are a woman who runs a business or wants to run a business, I feel like this is essential viewing. She's an absolutely incredible guest, and the hypnosis is a beautiful experience that you will not regret. So go check that out. But this tapping is kind of along similar lines where it's just going to make you feel so good about yourself, and it's going to remind you of everything that you already have. So what's better than that? Nothing is better than that. So grab your water, have a guzzle, get really hydrated, and we will jump into this tapping. I am so abundant. And I'm not just abundant in things. I'm not just abundant in resources. I am also abundant in ideas. I am abundant in creativity. And I am abundant in love. And I actually already have all of the answers inside me. I already know what to do next. And I have more ideas than I can ever implement in this lifetime. So for this, I am eternally grateful. When I think about all the things that I have, all these things at my disposal, my heart is filled with love and gratitude. And the more that I think about it, the better and better I feel. I know that just by using my brain, I can solve any problem I have. And I know that just by using my resources, I can figure out anything. So today I am choosing to focus on the abundance in my life. I am choosing to focus on what I have, because there is so much of it. And it is so powerful to be reminded of everything I have. I am so deeply grateful for all the abundance in my life. And I am so deeply grateful for all the beautiful experiences I am yet to have. I have so much more life to live and so many fun new things to experience. Things I've never experienced before that are going to open me up and surprise me and delight me and make me feel so good about my time here on earth. I am so deeply grateful. And the best thing about being grateful is that gratitude only invites more abundance. When I am grateful, I attract more. When I am excited, I attract more. And not just more random stuff, but I attract things that are in alignment with who I am. I attract things that are in alignment with what I want. And I attract things that are in alignment with where I am going. Nothing feels better than that. So if ever I am feeling doubt, or I am feeling not good enough, or I'm feeling like I should be more, I'm going to take a breath and remember all the things I have, all the things I'm grateful for, all the things that I am so excited about, because that will make me feel good. And that will help me do good. Okay, deep breath in, hold it at the top, and let it go. I'd love to hear how that tapping felt for you, what emotions you're feeling, whether it really did remind you of all the beautiful things that you have in your life. I know that there are so many of them, and it's so important that we put our focus there rather than thinking about what's not enough yet, or we don't have this, or this isn't perfect. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. We are always in a state of moving towards the things that we want. But if you suffer while you're moving towards the things that you want, you will never experience joy. You will never feel real lasting pleasure. It's about enjoying it as we move towards it. So you can't hang everything on it all having to be perfect or it all having to be here in order to feel good. It's just a recipe for disaster. So your homework this week is to leave a comment with the things that you are grateful for. I would love to read your list. These lists of gratitude make me so happy. I sometimes think of them as a thank you blessed list, just like Ariana Grande's thank you next, thank you blessed. Is so hot. I love that. And I would love to read your list. And then if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. You will get the notifications as soon as the videos go live. So you'll be one of the first High Vibe Honeys on the scene. Like, who's going to be the first comment? I don't know. Hopefully it's you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week. And I hope that this tapping was helpful, that these cards inspire you to work intelligently this week and really put your energy into the things that truly matter to you. I love you very much. Have a great week.